1, 2, 3. What's up, Possums? I'm Tom.
I'm Galen.
And this is, if I remember correctly, 15 minutes of FUME.
FUME.
FUME. FUME.
FUME.
FUME.
FUME.
It's been a while since we've recorded anything. Would you like to talk about why that is?
No.
First of all, we haven't had anything new released to review, and it took us a while to get our hands on the little possum darling that we're talking about today. I took a trip away for a minute, and then I got back, and there is home renovation happening in the apartment below us literally every day of the week.
Very loud.
They're sawing into the walls to install an air conditioning system to somehow make it seem worth charging $1,700 for a one-bedroom apartment in northeast Los Angeles.
Well, you missed all the noise while you were out of town while they were breaking all the tile in the bathroom and kitchen to install new tile.
I thought it would be funny to record videos with all of this going on in the background because it's
incredibly
just
stressful.
So 2020, like I can't even tell you. Like, what is professionalism anyway? What are optimal conditions for sharing thoughts? Like, even mentioning that suggestion to Galen made him like completely wild-eyed.
I mean, I have a hard enough time focusing in general when all that stuff is happening. It's a lot of chaos below my feet.
And recording in general can be stressful on a good day.
Yes.
This is a gentle being.
So if it's loud and it's just terrible.
So the good news is we're back, and the other good news is starting next week, this coming week, I guess, we're starting a new series in 15 minutes of FUME related to some underdogs in BPAL's general catalog.
A series within a series.
More on that
kind
soon.
of meta.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be meta. It's going to be pointless.
It's going to be fun.
It will be so fun.
15 minutes of fun.
But before people click away because they think we're never going to talk about the perfume that we almost never got around to filming a video about.
We are.
Let's talk about it.
All right.
Oh my god, like weeks ago, the lab released a perfume blend called Please Scream Inside Your Heart. And it is featuring a very adorable, crazy possum critter drawn by Drew Roush. Props to Drew. And also there's a sticker. When you buy the perfume, you get a sticker of said artwork. And I know people have been clamoring for some kind of t-shirt design, and we're working on that. We'll see what we can do. It's not as easy to just spontaneously release things as it used to be, or even to get them out of the office, because people had to wait extra weeks for this perfume because we went with a new sticker manufacturer and they had COVID-related delays, and everyone is like, where is my possum perfume? And I'm like, wow, that's a very futuristic question.
Possum face.
Possum.
Freeze in terror and smile.
Yeah, just like people were writing customer service to ask when it was shipping out, and we would just kind of lay there with a kind of like a smelly foam creeping out of our mouth to hope they would just, give up. It was kind of like that. So, this perfume is not a fundraiser. It's purely a fun thing that BPAL released for us.
It's purely a fun razor.
A fun razor. Oh my gosh.
No?
Talk about reading the small print. But anyway, our perfumer, Elizabeth, just wanted to create this perfume as a fun expression of the profound existential dread that we're all cheerfully coping with in our new reality, which for some is not that different from the old reality, and they're like, welcome to the party, kids. It sucks. But anyway, the perfume, I won't read the entire description because it's long and it's like very possum-centric, and you can just experience that joy for yourself by clicking the link to the perfume, which is somewhere adjacent to where you're watching this. But anyway, the perfume itself, Please Scream Inside Your Heart, is described as, this is the scent of fried dough, funnel cake, and that balls in your throat feeling you get when you're about to pitch over the edge of a steep hill on a roller coaster and can't see the other side. Now before we smell this, I want to point out that there was a lot of speculation in the BPAL verse about that balls in your throat feeling.
We all know it.
We all know it. You don't have to have balls even to know that feeling. It's like you don't have balls, but then you feel that feeling, and that's how you discover your balls, like your psychic balls. You're like, oh, there they are in my throat.
Yep.
So everyone was like, wait a second, does this smell like vomit? So first of all, no.
Balls in your throat.
I don't.
To vomit.
I don't. We didn't do that, and one thing that my reasoning is like we just don't even have time to handle the massive customer service issue that would be created if we tricked people by sending them a vomit scented perfume. Like we can't even handle it. We can't handle what we already got going. So trust that there is no vomit scent. I asked Beth when she was doing this if there would be a doom component to the scent. And, we're going to smell it and see what's there, but I just want to assure everyone that if you're worried about purchasing the scent because of some, like, unknown, like, mortal, like, terror/revulsion component that we're trying to trick you into smelling, this is a safe space. Just calm your inner possum. So, without further ado,
I'm trying.
And we're allowed to ramble a little bit because we have one perfume to talk about in a whole 15 minutes of Fume.
Oh, free. Feeling free.
Feeling free. Free as a possum climbing a fence post outside of an apartment complex that you'll startle when coming in with the groceries and then be terrified when you see its teeth and then relax when you see it's just a possum. Anyway, you want to
never
hold the bottle?
relaxed when I see that it's just a possum.
I have never relaxed, period. I was always like this.
4th of July, middle school. I was watching the fireworks from the roof of our garage, and my mom went inside, and I hear a scuttle from the leaves behind me, and this possum just kind of, waddled out
Possumed.
onto the top of the garage roof and, like, started walking towards me, and I was like, ah! And then it, like, looked at me, because it heard me say, and it was like, eh. And then just kind of turned around and walked away, but it was like, that's my most memorable possum experience.
I'm
like, oh.
Envisioning this like the scene in The Princess Bride where they're like in the sand, but then like the
Those
rodents
possums.
of unusual size just kind of like walks through.
I believe it was like that.
Foreshadowing, and then it's gone when they come out, and you're like, "Bah!" Okay, the perfume. Remember, we have a perfume. So, everything in the description that you heard or read is real. There is a fried component. There is a very sugary sweet component. There's like a kind of a light spice, but it's not like there's not like a really like a cinnamon situation going on here really. It reminds me of like a Cinnabon.
Mm-hmm.
But
Or an elephant ears
yes,
stand at the
Renaissance Festival.
This is like, I'm just like, I can hear the carnival rides from the smell.
There's like, it feels warm, like there's like an outdoor warm weather component.
Yes.
And it is definitely very sweet. Like, it is like the glaze is dripping. Like, you know how like you're excited because there's so much frosting everywhere, and then you, like, if it was a smaller portion, maybe you would like eat the frosting off the wax paper, but since it's a mammoth portion, by the time you're done, you look at the wax paper covered in frosting, and you just immediately run away and throw up in a porta potty.
Yes, I was gonna say, it's that feeling of eating an entire elephant ear on an otherwise empty stomach and
On a
then
hot
feeling
day.
very sick like 15 minutes later.
love
Like,
it.
am I dying?
Am I dying? But if
What's happening to my body?
If I can get that experience, the fully sensory experience, just from a perfume instead of actually eating an elephant ear, like, that's magic. I really love this. I would love to layer this with a bunch of different things just to be like, all right, like, cathedral / carnival, or some of the other food blends, or some of the coffee blends. But in terms of the balls in your throat thing, I think that the closest I'm getting to that from here is just the idea of having like my entire upper body orifices like saturated with fried dough. And then, like, you've got the roller coaster situation where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I waited in the line in the hot sun for like 20 minutes.
Sure,
and
it's
then
crowded.
You get in the car and you're going up on the thing and you're like, oh, like, I am definitely in trouble.
Sure, I'm high in the air.
Oh.
Oh gosh, we're really getting to that point in the... We're gonna go down.
I had that experience at Coney Island on the swings, on the ones on the chain, and I was like, I love the height. The height doesn't bother me. The spinning bothers me, and I thought the swings would be wonderful because of the freedom of the swinging. And I got up there, and I was green for like 3 hours afterward. I just had to kind of...
I'm green thinking about it.
However, you can't really blame the carnival food for that.
No, you blame the carnival ride.
No, I'm like responsible for my own decisions
blame
about what
you.
I put on and into my body.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Yeah, like...
I blame the carnival ride.
Well, anyway, let's try
They're
it on.
They're designed to make you sick.
They are designed to... I don't
the
know
whole
why
thing
we do
is
that.
designed to make you sick. It's a trap.
What is wrong with humankind?
We like traps.
We like to be in a trap. We like to design traps, and then we like to go into them. Like, look at the escape room craze of the last couple of years. I looked at that, and I was like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like being a queer person who escaped a small town, but I'm just like...
Escape rooms,
I already did this.
Or immersive theater.
Immersive theater I like.
Yes, but it's still that thing where you have surrendered control, and
That's
now you
true.
are suddenly, like...
A prisoner.
A prisoner.
I would do an escape room by myself, but the idea of collaborating with people in, like, even a fake survival situation gives me, like, bumps all over my body. I'm just like, no. Something tells me I would rather take the time to do this by myself at my own rate.
Nothing went well in those Saw movies when all those people banded together.
I don't like group psychology experiments in general. So, we forgot to try on the perfume.
Oh, this is a perfume video.
Let's slather it on, shall we? I just want to, like, put it on my upper lip. Like a Jodie Foster in Silence of the Lambs, like when you're in the embalming room. I mean, you could do worse.
Do it.
There's always, like, that wintergreen stuff. I wonder if we could reach out to, like, funeral directors across America and be like, hey, how about some nice, like, funnel cake? We're putting the funnel cake back in funeral home. I did mushrooms once and went to Coney Island, and it sounded so fun. First thing on the nose, I'm getting just like a sugar crust.
Crust is, yeah.
It's like almost a brittle...
A brulee.
Yeah. They have to make that frosting that kind of like dries a little bit on impact, like makes a little shell, so it doesn't just like slide off the plate. Mm-hmm. It has to somewhat stay where it's going. I'm getting like a kind of a custard. It's less... Okay, so I thought it smelled a little bit cinnamony to me in the bottle, but on the skin I'm not getting that at all. What do you think?
It's more buttery, sugary, crusty.
There's definitely like a buttery
But it's, there is not really that spice
so
that I was smelling in the bottle.
It's reminiscent of the Dumb Cake perfume that we did for Mardi Gras, where a certain amount of them... Oh no, that was King Cake that had the babies. We had one that came with Possums.
Dumb Cake is a...
Yule. I'm thinking of King Cake. I'm thinking of the King Cake bottle with the plastic babies that smelled a little bit like this.
Yeah.
Which is, again, also, like, I think really
cake.
tied in.
Right?
Because, it's like an outdoor festival situation.
Yeah.
Too much body heat. Not enough shade. I just think the idea of walking around smelling like fried dough is incredibly powerful. Like, seriously, so we opened this bottle actually the other night when it was dropped off, and I cheated a little bit and smelled it, but, like, it actually gave me a craving for some, like... And then last night we were out walking, and we walked past Jack in the Box, and I don't know what was going on in there, but, like, the smell of it...
There was some kind of a dessert smell coming
of this
out.
Perfume, and I was like, I can't wait to film this video tomorrow. Like, it really got into my brain. So there's something about the idea of, like, the incredibly rich, you shouldn't eat this style of treat... that is forever going to be, a weakness of mine. Having it as a perfume is like maybe I'm free. Like maybe I don't ever have to eat myself sick on, goopy, non-city code fried treats ever again.
I don't know.
It's definitely safer to smell this than it would be to eat this.
Yes. Don't eat it.
Like, I find the experience right now that I'm having of wearing this very comforting, but I guarantee you that if even I would be like halfway through eating a plate of this and I would not feel comforted. I would be past the point, like the itch would have been scratched on like the third bite, and then I would just be like sweating. Like I am now.
Hospital.
Call the hospital.
You say slow and thoughtfully.
Yes.
I've decided what I need, and it is for you to call the hospital.
Except we don't live in a world right now where that is possible anymore.
Call an imaginary hospital. Call a hospital from the past.
Please just
Teleport
call
me
the hospital
to
and
Mars.
tell them what happened to me.
Inform the hospital.
Please inform the hospital.
Call the hospital and inform them.
Do you have any impressions related to Please Scream Inside Your Heart?
I am screaming inside of my heart.
I can from this close I can actually hear it.
You can hear it, right?
Oh yeah, I can tell when Galen is screaming inside of his heart, believe me. It's usually like a facial expression accompanies it. So
the eyes widen.
Yeah, the whole face just kind of falls. Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I'm just thinking of a lot of like maybe a possum mother and some babies in a carnival dumpster. And they're eating all the sweets.
What perfumer do you know in the entire world that can inspire that kind of review? Aside from this one.
And I'm a little on the fence about possums. I mean, they're cute, but they also kind of scare me. So that is saying something to have such a cute image in my head. I'm like, oh,
aggressively pro possum, and every time I say something pro possum in Galen's presence, I can watch him like
scream inside my heart
on the fence.
Yeah, I'm like,
can't encourage possum talk. I once saved a baby possum from Beth's yard and kept it from being eaten by her dogs and reunited it with its mother.
I remember that, hearing about that.
Yes. So I have mostly positive possum memories. Also, they're exotic to me because I never had them anywhere else that I lived before here. So, like, when you see new wildlife, you're always like,
good one.
Good one. Yeah. So, to recap, you got your sugary fried dough, kind of custardy smell that's kind of like warm and making me...
fresh out of the oven or heat rack.
Yeah, right off of the heat rack. Comes with sticker of artwork that is impossibly cute. We're just having a great time reading all of everybody's reviews, including the ones where people are panicky about the vomit smell because, what can I tell you, we're desperate for entertainment, and I love a good harmless freak out. So we will, if you have reviews or you want to share about this stuff, please tag us because we could use the amusement. Send a friend a possum pic today. I recommend the Possums Every Hour Twitter feed, which posts a random possum pic every hour. Sometimes they repeat, but I'm never sad to see a possum again. You know, I'm like, oh, I remember you. And that means that there are possums that I'm familiar with. And I couldn't say that a year ago. So we're going to be coming back to you this week with more videos. We're done with our little summer vacation. I've lost Galen for today, so we're just going to wrap up for now. Please stay safe. Please make good choices. Please scream inside your heart.
Like this.
Good what? You did it.